coming to heaven. He's talking about disqualified for this crown he was talking about. He wants this crown. He wants to obtain the crown. God said there's crowns and there's jewels to be had in them crowns. I want to obtain them things in life. I want to reach out and pick my brother up when he needs it. And I need help, Lord. I need help. Help me to win others. Help us all to put others' needs above ours. Let's go to 10:24. And same thing right there. 10:24. He said, let no one seek his own, but each one seeking another's well-being. Throughout the scripture, you're going to continue to find this. And as you read, there's probably thousands more times it talks about putting everybody else's needs above your own. And therefore, you will be satisfied yourself. Whenever you begin to, as a servant, you be satisfied because the Lord knows you need more. Because whenever you pray for others, it draws out of you. I want to go on one more time we got a few more times, but to Galatians 6. Galatians 6, 1 through 10 here. I really love this right here. I love all scripture, but I love how this puts it right here. Now, I just want to ask, is there anybody spiritual in the house? Is there anybody in this house that is spiritual tonight? I know there is. I know there is. It says right here, this is our job. This is pretty much a job description tonight. Brethren, that's you. That's y'all. That's me. If a man is overtaken in any trespass, you who are spiritual, restore such a one in spirit of gentleness. Here he goes. Considering yourself, lest you be tempted. Say, watch it now whenever you're doing this, that you don't do it the wrong way. Bear one another's burdens, and so fulfill the law of Christ. For if anyone thinks of himself to be something when he is nothing, he deceives himself. But let each one examine his own work, and then he will have rejoicing in himself alone and not in another. For each one shall bear his own load. It don't say his own burden there. It says his own load. So, let him who's taught the word share in all good things with him who teaches. Do not be deceived. God is not mocked, for whatsoever a man sows, that he will also reap. For he who sows to the flesh will of the flesh reap corruption, but he who sows of the Spirit will reap everlasting life. And let us not grow weary while doing good, for in due season we shall reap, if we do not lose heart. Therefore, as we have opportunity, let us do good to all, especially to those who are in the household of faith. Especially to those that are in the household of faith. In this room, we should be less to be picking on somebody else's downfalls. We should be more to exhorting them daily. Christ says to exhort them daily. Be lifting them up. As we bicker and quarrel, we're doing nothing but exactly what the enemy wants us to do. Whenever we begin to pick at somebody else's downfalls, we only know it because it's probably in us. We can only pick on somebody else's downfall because we know it because it's probably somewhere in us. You begin to look in the mirror of the Word, you're going to begin to see that you're not going to be able to pick something out of somebody else unless it's in you. And it is not our job. And help me, Lord. Help us. Because I'm guilty. I'm guilty. But I'm going forward today. And I'm moving forward. because I want to serve God in all my life, in all aspects. Whatever he tells me to do, I'm not going to be afraid to do it. Whether it be to go back to the beginning and begin to realize, what do I do in life that represents Jesus? Am I celebrating Jesus in my life? Or am I celebrating things that I've acquired through life? But let's go on to Hebrews 3:13. If you're not getting the picture yet, to exhort the brother and to raise him up, we will continue on. You might have it before it's over with. If not, I can give you the notes. Hebrews 3:13. Huh? Well, you say you need the notes? No. Here it is, the scripture I was just talking about. 3:13. But exhort one another daily while it is called today, lest any of you be hardened through deceitfulness of sin. For we have become partakers of Christ if we hold the beginning of our confidence and steadfast to the end. While it is said today, if you will hear his voice, do not harden your hearts as in rebellion. Oh, we want to rebel against this. We're instantly think about our needs because we know them instantly. We got to think about, we got to look for somebody else's needs. We got to begin to look and see, what does this person need? God, what do they need? How can I help them, Lord? Can I speak? Lord, speak to me give me a word to give to them, to lift them up. They look like they're down a little bit today. They look like they need a little bit of help today, Lord. As I'm walking through, you'll see people, you'll notice as you begin to serve God, you'll walk through the store and you'll begin to notice people's faces. And you'll notice the ones that ain't got Jesus, and maybe even they got Jesus, but they ain't too excited about it. You can't tell they got him. They might have the bun, they might have the whatever it takes. I mean, they might be looking like it, but their face ain't showing it. That's what it's doing service. We will become happy. We will become happy whenever I begin to put my needs above, my needs below everything else. And then it's like the finger. I forget how it goes, but you put, the very last thing is you. And that's the thumb, the little thing. That's the little pinky. But the thumb is closest things to you. Yeah. But you ring fingers, your wedding and all that, and the leaders of the church. But I seen a thing on anyways, rabbit trail. But but I'm excited tonight. I'm excited that he brought I found the blessings, but it wasn't in the area. I looked for them, and that wasn't where I got them. I said, he told me they're in there. I'm looking for them. And I said, man, I was looking all over. But whenever he brought them out, I got excited because I knew they was in there. I knew that I'd be blessed. He says, come not empty-handed. Because he gave us so much. He deserves. We are blessed to be able to be here and to worship in the house. They probably did this stuff for 5 and 10 hours. They might have did it all night long. They didn't go into the midnight hour probably because that's for something else. But they was celebrating Jesus though, believe that. Whenever they celebrated Passover, they was getting it on. And I began to think, I'm gonna go off a little bit here, and I'm gonna give you about unleavened bread, the feast of unleavened bread. As I actually took a partake and went through my cabinets, and as I went through my cabinets and was pulling things out, I said, "Oh, surely that don't have it in there." I began to think, Lord, I know Sometimes we want to hold on to that little sin. Oh, it just it tastes so good, Lord. It surely ain't nothing wrong with that. Is there any leaven in that? Yeah, there's sin in that. Go ahead and get rid of it. I begin to see what the symbolizing. My wife asked me, well, what does that mean? Well, it's just a natural thing, but you're doing it in a spiritual way. Whenever you do it, you're doing it in a spiritual way. You're pulling it out. And as doing it, I recognize. And as I did it today, I recognize I got to get on one with my wife. I got to get in one with my wife. I cannot bicker with her and be at strife with her whenever things come up. And people ain't always going to agree with what I want to do. But I got to keep on. And I ain't got to force nobody into nothing. Just lead them by example and just do what I can do. But as I begin to pull that stuff out of the cabinets, I say, oh, man, surely that don't got it in there. Oh, man, that tastes real good. Is there any more? Surely no. Really, is that hidden stuff, It's like, well, let's read, I don't even know what it's got in it. They're living in everything. Crackers got leaven in them. Chicken nuggets. Lots of things got leaven. But not to get away from the point, the leaven represents sin in your life. And that's, as I begin to do it, I begin to see how easy it is to forget the little thing in the cupboard. Oh, it's that little thing. I just want to hold on to that. I really like the taste of that. It tastes really good, Lord. It makes me feel really good. They say sin is pleasure for a season. It'll pleasure you for a season. So they're not saying, he didn't ever say it wasn't fun to do whatever you're doing. I used to always say, I'm having fun.